It's the only one that's UL listed. We have sold well over 2 million, 2.5 million here at HSN, 21 years and counting. And not only in a couple of minutes a day, in as little as 3 to 5 minutes, probably longer than it takes you to brew that cup of coffee. If you have back pain, you can find that temporary solution. In fact, I'd love for you to see this FDA still, and then we've got a little videotape you need to take a look at. These are all of the upgrades. It's the same table that's used in doctors' offices. The FDA was late coming to the party, but they even say that this is cleared. Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon, if we could just go back to that first page. For herniated disc, for degenerative disc disease, for spinal stenosis, for facet syndrome, for muscle spasms. I don't know about you, but boy, my back hurts just reading this list. For back pain, for sciatica, for spinal degenerative joint disease, for spinal curvature with tight muscles. Boy, that's all of us. And muscle tension. $54.99 is also the maximum on FlexPay. Normally, we only do that when something is a today's special. Roger's last show, and you know what? If you've seen the infomercial, they're doing upgrades. They're doing the same FDA cleared table, the same one with all those free upgrades that are used, of course, in the doctor's offices. If you have a life-changing testimonial to share, we want to hear from you. Both Roger and Riley would tell you that you are their currency, meaning they don't need to get paid for their job. Roger, I won't tell your employees that, but they love to hear those success stories. In the meantime, though, speaking of success stories, I'd love for you to take a little look and listen of something that, well, you know what? Let Horace take away. Every time I see this, it makes me want to cry.
I was always an active person. I've always been physical. To have that come to a screeching halt was something I really couldn't live with. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was totally a grumpy old man. When I got my Teeter, that's when it all changed for me. And the more I worked my back, the more relief my back gave me. And that's when I knew that this machine really works. It's so simple and yet so effective. If it wasn't for the Teeter, I wouldn't be the person I am today. It put the smile back on my face. If I was face to face with Roger Teeter, I would cry like a baby because what he gave me was my life back. And I thank him. I thank him for that.
You can just tell me in person.
Oh, God. Thank you, sir. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I love my job, and it's because of testimonies like yours. I wrecked my back, and Inversion changed my life. This is not a gimmick. We're not just selling product. We're selling a changed lifestyle.
Yes.
So many people have written off their ability to move freely because of old age. No, it's the long-term effects of gravity combined with lifestyle, posture, and a whole lot of other things. Teeter's a way to fight back against that.
I can't thank you enough.
Okay, fighting gravity, one spine at a time. The one and only Roger Teeter is here. And of course, Roger, I have to say, first of all, your last show of the visit, right?
Yes, it is.
Last show of the visit. Yep. And Roger is living proof. Just to summarize again, longest running fitness item here at HSN in your 21st year. Only one with over 2.5 million sold at HSN that has that UL listing, FDA cleared. You use it in the doctor's offices.
5-year warranty and 85% pre-assembled.
Absolutely, but Roger has a very big brain in addition to having a lot of energy. Engineering is your wheelhouse, and you've actually engineered an even better mousetrap.
Well, actually, Chris, Riley's husband, got credit for this particular upgrade because he's focused on the appearance and the new colors and the engineering, yes, of course, but let me tell you that the reason we have a new name for the FitSpine is it is totally a new product. You know, our .com reviews are 4.8s, but occasionally people would say, you know, I just wish it was more comfortable. And it needs to be a hard, smooth surface so your body elongates. If you put foam on it, you stop the decompression. And that's the main value. So what we did is a major re-engineering job. If you look, you can see that this bed is lifted off the frame.
Right.
It's no longer on the frame like the previous table. And we've suspended it on 8 suspension points, so it's really a floating bed. You sit on it, you sink into it 1.5 inches, and you got a bonus here in that when you're moving, that up around, the table moves with you. You know, it's just a floating bed.
It is. So it comes 85% assembled, and
Yes.
that's something that Roger does for you. Roger, let's do a little tour, and I know we've got to talk about the decompression of the spine, but when this is used in a doctor's office, there are so many things that set it apart. One of my favorite things is I have a hip that is a little bit higher than the other. So
Right.
if I go to a chiropractor, that's one of the things they address, and you do too. You're the only table that does that.
Yeah, no, we call this a butt bump, if you will, or my daughter does anyways. But the idea is if you set this you know, lumbar bridge can be put in many locations. But what we recommend is to put it kind of on the low side so that it kind of grabs your butt and squares your hips. It squares your hips before it starts to add the traction.
It does. Also, love these oversized handles. Can you call them like the easy, right?
You know, like training handles on a bicycle. You can
Right.
walk yourself back, or you can just use balance. We got the traction handles, which are a way to decompress the body at a shallow angle.
Right.
At a shallow
Because
angle,
it
as
takes-
though you were in full inversion.
Because it doesn't take, I mean, again, you don't have to go the full tilt.
Inversion, absolutely not.
And as little as 3 to 5 minutes.
That is the normal. That's what we suggest.
3 to 5 minutes. That's one of your upgrades, isn't it?
Yeah, these are both upgrades. You know that
normally on the infomercial, what am I looking at? Like $80?
These are $70, and
$70?
these are let's see, about $27.95.
Okay, there you go. So that's like $100 worth of upgrades. All right.
And then we've got this Easy Reach ratchet. That's a $100 upgrade if you're going to be breaking it down. And this is micro adjustments. This is what was actually developed for our clinical table. In fact, this is the clinical table.
This is the clinical table.
Yeah, this is what you'd see in the doctor's offices. And these foot clamps, believe me, 3 sets of tooling, 3 years to get it right. These are right. We've got the hard backing that really gives you the support, and then 3/4 of a foam that is ergonomically shaped to the front and to the back, and a comfort dial foot platform, small shoes, big shoes, adjustable 4'8" to 6'6".
Absolutely, and that's also an upgrade, right?
Actually.
And
the color-coded preset tether strap. This allows you, the color codes allows you to, if you put the buckle on this, on the green, it's 20 degrees, and the orange is 45, and so on. But you can obviously slide in between. And then this is something that you definitely want to use getting started. Some people never stop using it.
Right.
And that
some
stops
people
you at...
don't even go beyond that level, right?
That's right. And you can use the traction handles then to further decompress the body.
Right.
Also, the acupressure nodes. These are, there's 8 of them. They have little wing nuts, and they can go in any one of these holes.
So when you got that knot,
yeah,
right?
You just wish somebody could push on it. Oh,
exactly.
Where's somebody's thumbs? Well, there they are.
There they are. Hey, by the way, when I said earlier that you are Roger and Riley's currency, no kidding. They love hearing your success stories. Over 2.5 million of you, can't be wrong. Just an amendment to my previous statement, to be clear. Roger has worked hard, so he's actually gone after this show. Riley will be here tomorrow, so you will see, I think, 2 more airings of the table, but you will not see it with Roger, because, you know, you've earned a little
I'm
break.
going snow skiing.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're gonna come back to that statement, because when I say Roger's living proof that this works, but let's talk about what happens with the spine as we get older, right?
Well, as we get older, gravity is the most powerful force your body's going to see in your lifetime. Proof of that power is changes in body shape.
Right.
But the way you fight back with the use of the teeter is decompression. Okay. And I want you to look at this animation. This is you inverting. Again, you do not need to go to full inversion. First thing is all the muscles of the back are relaxing and just letting go. The tension's letting go. And as they relax, you're going to elongate. And 1 to 2 inches, that's a real number. You can see the spine straightening out a little bit. It was a little crooked there. But there, see all these joints opening up? You have a pinched nerve. Take the pressure off. An inflamed joint, take the pressure off. You have a misaligned joint, take the pressure off, get it down to 0, move around, and it'll realign itself.
It will. You know, one thing that you're saying, Roger, and I'd love to show Spiny as well, is when you think of other ways to temporarily relieve pain, what are you doing? You're taking something orally, right? And that's not going to the source. It's a temporary solution.
Yeah, your back's still screaming.
Right.
You just can't hear it. Now, what good is that? Teeter deals with the problem naturally at the source, and it does it in 3 to 5 minutes. And it doesn't matter what clothing you're working, because you're not doing anything.
Because
you're just kicking back and enjoying a great
So
stretch.
I just want to piggyback on what Roger said. This is going to the source of the issue. It's a natural, non-invasive way to do that. And, you know, I think, Roger, at the end of the day, and we'll show you that FDA still again, You think of when you're in pain, you do almost anything to get to that source and get that temporary relief.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, I mean, even the example of the pill.
Yes.
So you're looking at 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes.
Yep.
And it's just masking the problem.
It's just hiding the problem.
3 to 5 minutes. As soon as you invert and relax, you're going to elongate, just like that animation showed. You're just going to, your feet are clamped and your body's sliding down the bed as it becomes longer, and that's taking the pressure off all of these joints, whether it's a herniated disc or a sciatica degenerative joint disease, which is the same as osteoarthritis, by the way.
Right.
And it takes the pressure off. And that is a big deal because the communication between the brain and all the organs in the body, and in fact the muscles, everything, is through these nerves. And there are 2 nerves coming out with every disc.
And can I ask you something? So again, even if you were taking something, you know, orally, like also a temporary solution, not going to the source,
right,
it takes longer than 3 to 5 minutes to help.
Yeah, I said 30 minutes or more.
The 30 minutes or more. So in as little as 3 to 5 minutes, with a table that comes not completely assembled, but 85% assembled.
We'll take it apart and prove that to you.
We're going to the source of that pain.
Yeah. You're dealing with the problem. Yeah, and a lot of times, let's say it is a sciatica. You've got a pinched nerve.
Right.
This disc is dehydrated. It's thin. The opening that it controls for this nerve is too small. Therefore, the nerve is pinched. As soon as you go upside down, and it happens just as fast as that animation, as you relax. Now, you got to relax. You got to let go, and everything starts to open up. The pressure is off the nerve, and the pain is relieved. Less pressure means less pain.
Absolutely. I know we'll show you that FDA still again, but you've got professional athletes that use, you've got doctors who want to rave about this,
actually,
right?
some world-renowned doctors we're going to hear from.
Roger, I spoke to this real quickly.
I want to run through that FDA thing again, because, you know, Teeter is, you know, they say Teeter is indicated, as we're a class 1 medical device and we're indicated for back pain. Well, that's a general thing. Sciatica, that's a pinched nerve. Spinal degenerative joint disease, as I said earlier, that's the same as osteoarthritis. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles. Muscle tension. Herniated discs. Degenerative disc disease. Spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasm. You know, and every one of those things is caused by a different thing, either misalignment or a pinched nerve or something, stressed muscles. And Teeter actually deals with all of them. That's why FDA says Teeter is indicated for all 10, because it deals with back pain 4 different ways. First of all, it takes the pressure off, okay? Pinched nerve, take the pressure off. Inflamed joint, take the pressure off. Misaligned joint, take the pressure off. And then as you gently move around, it'll realign itself. Stretching and relaxing paraspinal muscles, which can be pulling the spine into an uncomfortable position and helping the disc to hydrate. Bring in nutrition and fluid so that they're thicker and healthier more flexible.
And they're happier.
And you're happier and you're standing better.
And you're standing straighter. And boy, nothing, listen, we sell a lot of great wrinkle creams here at HSN, but take it from someone who is suffering from a couple of issues right now. There's nothing that is aging me faster than how I'm moving in the morning. And if you really, listen, you might look good from here to here, but how are you moving from here to here?
And that's the mirror test.
The mirror test,
yes,
it is.
Poor posture is unattractive. You know, we all get hunched over. I mean, it's you look at the youth today that are on top of the small screens, their posture is deteriorating.
It's true.
When you hang upside down, your head goes back on your shoulders. You're looking good. Poor posture is unattractive. And another thing, you get rid of the stress and improve the flexibility and health of those joints, and pretty soon you're walking youthfully with long strides and not giving away your age by how you move.
Absolutely, in as little as 3 to 5 minutes. Remember, you are our currency. It is the longest running fitness item for a reason, 2.5 million sold. It's the same table that is used in doctor's offices, UL listed, warranty, flex pay. We only do 6 flex pays on today's specials.
Yes, you know, and I really want to add something. We talk about back pain, and that, of course, is the primary reason people buy it. But the number 2 reason people buy it, by actual survey, is stress relief.
Oh, really?
Yeah, stress relief.
Because I was going to say vanity, because they want to retain their height.
Well, true.
I know, so there you go. That's on the list.
And when you get to be my age, it's flexibility. I mean,
is.
being able to keep up with the grind, to go snow skiing.
I know, I'm jealous. Hey, by the way, we want to hear from you. Roger, we've got so much to get to, but can we hear from those doctors?
Yes, yes.
Let's do it, because again, there is no other table like it. It's the same table that's used in doctors' offices.
Yes, Dr. Fryer and Dr. Long, and I will tell you something about Dr. Long if we hear his testimony.
Perfect.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves. There's less compression with the facet joints, and the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
I'm so honored. I'm so honored that the doctor testimonies we have, many are from nationally known, even world-renowned neurosurgeons. Dr. Long, Donlin Long, it was the head of one of the largest universities in the United States for 35 years, head of neurosurgery for 35 years. He uses the Teeter in his practice, personal practice, and also in his private practice,
Absolutely.
and he uses it personally.
Trust me, when Roger has a pedigree and a resume unlike anybody else. By the way, we did have a call. They must have thought, I want to upgrade to this table. So they left us, but we're hoping.
Oh, no.
I know, so come on back. Come on back, we'll be good to you. I don't care if it's St. Patrick's Day or not. We're here to have a little fun. And the big thing is you are the most important part of this show. And we're going to talk about all of the aspects of the aging spine and how it is going to give you that relief in as little as 3 to 5 minutes. You know how much I love working with Andrew Lessman. Andrew has been using Roger's table for over 20 years. Colleen picks it for her host pick every season. Professional athletes are using this, which also prompts me, I know you make special tables for the big NFL, NBA, you know, the March Madness people.
Yeah.
What is the height and weight on this again?
This one is a 300-pound maximum weight and up from 4'8" to 6'6".
Okay.
Yeah, we did make a line at request up to 7'7".
Right, you could probably fill in the blanks.
Yeah, we could figure out who those are for.
Remember, only place in America, the only one that is FDA cleared, has the UL listing, the special steel that is used, as little as 3 to 5 minutes a day. And so, Roger, I think when we talk about how kids are hunched over their computers, it's not just those of us in our 50s and 60s and you, Mr. Young Spry thing. Yeah. Gravity is affecting everything, right?
Absolutely.
And so there was a study where they put like a little thing?
The Nackimson study, yeah. Dr. Nackimson did the study in Gothenburg University a number of years ago, and the number of volunteers had a surgically implanted pressure sensor. That bright light you just saw, that's where the pressure sensor was planted. The baseline for each individual was set at 100% standing up, and then they went to different body positions to see how the pressure changed, you know, so that you had an idea of how to protect yourself. Bending over, doubled, but you knew that. You knew you had to be careful. Did you know that? Taking a load off, your muscles dumping it on your back, 50% higher load in good posture. There's your recipe for back pain. 2.5 times the loads of standing on those lumbar joints. I mean, that is the new smoking, as my daughter calls it. I mean, this is a problem. We sit too much. And then we don't exercise enough, and we throw stress into the mix. That last 25% goes to bed with you. It's not caused by gravity, it's caused by the construction of the spine. All those ligaments, 140 muscles, they stabilize the spine, but they hold it in background compression like rubber bands, and those rubber bands are strong. That's why you need 60% of your body weight to actually decompress those joints and bring them to at or near zero pressure.
And that's really the only way to do it, guys. It is, and it's in 3 to 5 minutes.
There's no other practical. Hanging by your hands, you can't relax.
You can't.
There's no relaxation there.
No. So a couple of things. Then we're going to head to our phones. We have maxed out that flex pay. You know, we don't even do computers all the time with 6 flex pays, but we want you to try it. We are all crusaders for Roger and for his inversion table. It is one of a kind. This is the one that has the UL listing. This is the one that is FDA cleared. This is the exact table that is used in doctors' offices. And not only that, 30-day return policy. I can tell you for a fact, we don't get tables back. we don't get tables back. If you read Roger's reviews, they read like love letters. When we talk about that FDA still, whether it's you or someone like myself, I told Roger earlier, I have probably half that list. I mean, seriously.
Well,
and Roger, you just want to know how to get rid of the pain.
Yeah, and these are serious. You know, sciatica, that's a pinched nerve, degenerative joint disease, that's osteoarthritis, herniated disc, that's a blowout for Pete's sake.
Right.
That's the precursor to a herniated disc, which is a bulge disc.
Right.
You know, those are serious problems. You know, and the Teeter is indicated to deal with all of those.
It is. We're going to head to our phones. So thank you so much. Hi, you're live on the air. Thank you for holding. It's Shannon and Roger. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mamie, and I'm calling from Florida.
Was that Mamie?
Mamie, M-A-M-I-E.
Well, hi there, Mamie.
All right.
So
thanks for calling.
Tell us your inversion story. Are you already a fan?
I am a super fan.
Yes.
I don't know if I should use it or not, but I asked my neurologist about it, and he said that he had a lot of patients, some patients who were on it, it was nothing but raving reviews about it. He says I can try it, but he could not. I had the surgery, and I was still having pain, but since I've been using the Teeter, I don't have any pain. Occasionally, I have sciatic, but when I get on the Teeter, it goes away. And I was on the Teeter like 3 times a day, and now I'm on it like once or twice a day. Some days I skip it altogether. But just as a maintenance, I continue to use it. I'm a retired emergency room nurse, and I had a whole lot of problems, like a lot of nurses, with the back pain from lifting and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 77 years old.
Wow.
Was nursing for 38 years, and now I'm able to be a retired functioning 77-year-old.
All right,
oh,
fantastic.
I want to kiss your whole face. I mean, Mamie, let me ask you this. How long did it take for you to start feeling better? Because I think for a lot of us out there, you get the table at home, and the more you use it, the better you feel. Would you say that's the case?
Yes. Initially, when I first got it, I was afraid to get on it because I live alone, and I had to put it together, and I thought, well, I can't put this thing together, but it was simplified, and so I put it all on the floor, and I put it together, and the instructions were very simple and easy to use, so I put it together one day and start using it the following day, and I've had no problems, and I recently ordered the pad, the pad that goes on it for vibration, I guess you call it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I ordered that pad, and it tells me that it's a little heat in it or something. So I ordered that pad, and I'm waiting to receive that. But I'm excited about it, and without that, I wouldn't be able to function at all. And I'm independent, living alone, where I was not that independent before. And I had nurses. I had nurses coming to the house for physical therapy and everything. I don't have that anymore, and have not had it for about almost a year now. I've had the machine about a year and a half.
Mamie, I'll tell you what, I'm out of a job. I mean, first of all, I got chills. You said it all. And most importantly, you're feeling better. Mamie, thank you.
You are my pay for this show. Thank you.
You are. Mamie said a couple of things. And by the way, Mamie's pad is, Miss Riley's putting that to use. We'll talk about that in a moment. But we're going to head right back to our phones.
Oh, great.
So hi there. You're live on the air at HSN. Thank you for holding. It's Shannon and Roger. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hi there.
Hi,
Oh, yes. Hi there. Who's this?
my name is Joyce.
Well, hi.
Okay.
Hi there, Joyce.
Joyce, where are you from?
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Florida.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you, Joyce.
Florida.
Joyce, we got a lot of smart Floridians tonight. So, Joyce, tell us your inversion story.
Well, I bought the original Teeter. It's between 15 and 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And I am still using it on a daily basis. I only use it for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, but I was diagnosed with ventrally at C3, 4, and 4, 5. So I've been in a lot of pain and a lot of nerve. It's a temporary relief. I have to use it every day or every other day, but it sure beats going to the chiropractor every week, and it beats taking all the medication.
Well, and Joyce, you know what? At the end of the day, it's all about us feeling better. And are you like a lot of our customers? Did you start to feel relief like almost immediately?
Yes. In fact, when I first got it, I was so afraid to go complete inversion that I just kind of tottered back and forth and played with it. Just moved my arms back and forth, and it had come with a DVD, and it was just so much fun to play with. And finally, I was able to totally invert.
Wow. You know, Joyce, let me ask you this. And first of all, again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your night to call. I think there are a lot of people watching who are maybe like you. I was a little afraid. I wasn't so sure it would work. I bet 20 years later, I can't think of something that I've owned for 20 years that I'm still using, number one. But what would you tell some of our friends who are watching tonight who have back pain and think they've tried everything? Would you ever be without it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, oh no.
I would never be without it. In fact, you know, I look at these new models and I think, oh, should I just buy another one? But it works.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
We build them to last.
You do. Joyce, you have been a delight. You really said it all. Thank you so much. Best of health to you here in Florida. I'd love to piggyback onto a couple of things that both Mamie and Joyce said, but real quickly, we've only got about 25 minutes left in the show. This is Roger's last show. Riley will be here tomorrow. Two big things. You need to know, and I know it's the only one that's UL listed. It is the only one that is FDA cleared. This is the exact table that is used in doctor's offices. And you heard Mamie and Joyce, and we hear those brief moments of silence. Yes, we can talk about the FDA still, but there are a lot of things that we would love to say about Roger and his table on the air that we can't legally say, but you know your own private crusade. Read those reviews. They read like love letters. And I can tell you for a fact, there are millions of HSN customers who are finding relief, temporary or otherwise, of that back pain from using his amazing one-of-a-kind system. And the only thing that's keeping you from making that phone call is honestly by making that decision today. So remember, we've maxed out the flex pay. Even both Mamie and Joyce said, I love Mamie, she's like, I was a little afraid to get on it. She was worried about putting it together.
Full inversion.
Right, she said, you know, Joyce has had hers for 20 years. Mamie was a registered nurse. And the other thing that Mamie said that just made my heart skip a beat and just melt me, she said, I got my life back. She said, I'm independent living. And Roger, that's kind of your story.
Yes, I got my life back. I wrecked my gosh, 40 years ago. And when I say wrecked, on worst days, I couldn't get out of bed. I had to roll onto the floor, crawl hands and knees into the shower to get hot water in my back just to stand up.
Just to stand up.
I tried everything to get relief. Nothing really worked until I found inversion. The relief I got was temporary, but it lasted longer and it was more effective than anything else I tried. And by doing it on a regular basis as a maintenance program, you know, the relief periods became longer and longer, but still doing it every day, you know, 3 to 5 minutes. I've been virtually pain-free for 37 years, and this is my sport, water skiing and snow skiing. Water skiing is the one that I love. I went water skiing like 40 times last year, but the big deal is I get to do it with my grandkids.
Right. Quality of life.
Quality of life. Ski with them, teach them the slalom course. I'm back in the slalom course.
I know,
I love that.
You're going skiing. Actually, the reason
I'm going snow skiing in 2 days, but now that water skiing is this summer.
I want you to meet Riley in a few minutes. What's so funny, Riley told me, Riley, who I love, kiss her whole face, but she said too that you're more active now and moving better now at your age than you even remember when, you know, decades ago, right, Riley?
Exactly, absolutely. It's made a tremendous difference. And seeing him engage with my sons that way, like he is running and playing with them like you wouldn't believe.
Hey, by the way, Riley is on Mamie's little massage pad there. That's Mamie's massage pad. So you know what? Let me just do this real quickly, Roger, because this is actually what Mamie was talking about. Yes. She said, I broke down. She said, I got that massage pad. I'm counting the days until I get that thing.
Right.
So it just straps right on the bed, right? And
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So